fucking intro.
See,
You do, really?
this is what I call Noah's Ark.
Why the fuck? Okay, yeah, you know what? That'll be the intro. Yeah, you know what?
Alright, here's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, wait, nope.
That's funny.
1, my gosh, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the start of the huge mansion.
Wow.
1,
that,
2,
that looks
3,
great.
4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, trust me, it'll all make sense in a little bit. Right here. 3, 4. You know you could do this with regular logs, so you don't have to do this with these kind of logs. I just did this with these kind of logs. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Alright, well, now that you're done, we'll extend this all out by another. We'll call these grid pieces, or grid cubes. We'll extend out another whole section of grid cubes. Why is it so tough? Alright, anyways. It's probably one of the bigger houses I've built.
Now I have a question. This could be for the viewer too. How long would it take though to make this if they just decided to follow what you're doing right now?
30, 40 minutes.
Alright.
40 minutes to an hour and 20 minutes. 4, 5. Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I forgot to explain. We're gonna bring out 4 other extension pieces, right?
I don't know. You're the expert.
So you bring them all 5 out. Well, I just need you to agree in this instance.
Oh,
But
yeah.
instead of connecting all 3 of them, you're gonna connect that one, and that one to that one, and you're gonna leave it like that, and you're gonna put the grid pieces as they go. Right, so so this is your first floor. This thing will have approximately 3 to 4 floors.
Alright. Looks pretty nice so far. Just
Right.
we're getting there. It's a work in progress, guys. Just look at it that way.
2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. In case you don't see what I'm doing, I find it easier to make these posts now. I find it easier to make them now instead of the first floor. It's better to do it all in squares so you know how to grid everything out. But after that, you can just extend all the pieces out that you need. 3, 4, 5. Alright. So you'll connect this to that. So use this first outline as the outline of the second floor. Alright, so we're going to be doing the perimeter of the second floor.
Alright, so elaborate that a bit slower for some of our might be younger viewers.
Well, basically you're doing the outline for the second floor.
Okay.
So now you're gonna lay down the inside and grid pattern, connecting each post to each other. No diagonals needed. So yeah, that's your second floor.
Now, coming from someone that has since played Minecraft in a fucking decade, you know, this already looks like a nice fucking place. It looks like a nice building with just a framework.
Well,
but,
it's meant to be to give off a rustic vibe. That's why I picked spruce logs to give off a more rustic or like more winter home-ish kind of feel. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what you're gonna notice is that 2, 3, 4, 5. We're not gonna include the 2 extending pieces, so it's really just this last piece now.
Right.
No, it's just this last back piece.
Hmm. Now, how many floors, you know, in case we're wondering, can we go with this building? Could it keep going infinity, if you would, to the top of the map? Or is there a point where this says, like, it's just a basic question, I know, but what would it, you know, how tall can this building get?
Well, honestly, it depends on how many grids you make in the first place.
Right.
You can make it either longer or wider, you know, you really you bring everything in from branched out.
So at the end of the day, it depends on the person that's making it.
Yep.
Well, there you go, people. You gotta be creative when you're thinking about it.
And this is not the last floor, although it should be. We're going to end this off with, you remember the first grid we built in the middle?
Yep.
Yep, it comes all the way back to the top.
Mm.
4, 5.
So when does the framework, you would say, end? And when can we actually start getting into the actual building?
Right after this.
Oh, alright.
I mean, to be honest, I think it would probably be best if you used oak planks. I mean, dark oak or spruce is a good close second, but I feel like to mix the colors in well, oak would be your best bet.
Hmm. Oh.
I'm laying out the base structure for the exterior of the house.
Mm.
So it's like your first part of the walls. Yep. Yeah, no pressure.
Yeah. Well, there you go. You heard it first from the expert. No pressure when you're making this. Honestly, this looks difficult as fuck.
Yeah,
and this is
I obviously suggest night vision potions. They come in handy.
Alright.
Right.
Is there a way you can set it to,
Shirt day, you have to do that in the menu.
Alright.
I think it's too late already. I already made the world, but it's fine.
Mm.
I think it would be best if we did this with the daylight cycle on. Well, see, the windows kind of are left to your imagination. You know, you leave the windows to your imagination.
Again, when you're playing creative, you gotta be creative, so depends on your taste and style of what you want your building to be. So, you know, again, you heard it here from her. You know, it's up to you, so. So what is it exactly you're doing here with your windows?
See, you're like right here. Well, it's probably not gonna look well, but it'll probably help you like identify your entrance, see who's there, you know.
Hmm. Now, why
Probably
did
not. Okay, go ahead.
I don't interrupt, but why did you make the windows the way you did? Now, can you make a star window, like a cross or anything like that with those? Probably, right?
Yeah, I mean, you'd be sacrificing some base wall, but yeah, you could probably do something like that.
Right. Okay. Now, when you mean, how creative can you get with these windows? If they're just wondering.
You
by
can
any chance.
honestly get creative. I've done this build one time to where it went stripes like 1 2 1 2 1 2, you know, it went up and down like that.
Well, see, there you go. So now there's some options there that she said that you can do with your build. So.
Well, right now we're just working on the exterior, so I'm gonna go ahead and lay down the floor for this. Right here. So we're not gonna be worried about the floor or the interior or the windows or nothing like that. Right now, we're just worried about these patio floors and the walls for everything.
Alright.
So wherever I place a floor is going to be a patio of some sort.
Mm. So, for those that are wondering, how long have you played Minecraft, and how would you say, would you consider yourself an expert while playing this game when you're giving advice to these players?
Well, not exactly an expert, but
Right.
I've played for a long time.
So you know your way around creative.
Since about 2014, 2015. Yep.
That ought to do it, right? So
Yep.
yeah, you've been around for a few years. Look at it that way, guys. So she's been around. So you know, listen to her when she tells you when it comes to something in this build right now. You know what I mean? Because it's probably true.
Also, to people who are confused about their door sizes, it's always only going to be 2 blocks high. You don't need to do any more than that, because it's just going to leave an annoying gap in the door.
Mm.
I see a lot of people do that. They set like you know, like 3 door spaces and then get mad whenever they get it wrong. Just like I've just gotten to the points where I just do it too.
Hmm. My question is how they're gonna go from level to level. Is there gonna be
Well,
some
if
sort
you're
of
doing this in survival, now you have scaffolding and all that stuff. But if you're talking about design, creative, you do like I'm doing. If you're talking about design-wise, you once you keep one design on one level, you're basically just gonna do that throughout the house.
Mm.
And I mean, it's gonna stay basically the same up until the last story.
Would you say this could be a how long would it take you actually in a survival game to make this?
Well, I've actually done that in the same basically the amount of time plus it like an hour and 30 minutes.
Now my question is, can anyone do this? Beginners.
I mean, if you like actually to get it right, yeah.
Hmm.
This is one of those builds where if you have like one, like even one misplaced block and one grid, it screws the entire thing up. But it's simple because you have a laid out grid beforehand. You know what you're working with.
Right.
But if you like, the grid's the most important part, but the most simple part. Obviously, we're on the 3rd floor.
What are you working with right now, though? Like, what are you doing right now at this moment?
I'm working with the 3rd floor exterior. And this one you're not going to be able to do much with. Just lay out your base. Stick the basic design on there. And you might have to like cut it out, you know. Especially with the design for the roof. And this one, just a solid wall. So this one, the sides of your house are always, and the top are always going to be solid walls. Now, if you actually plan on utilizing, well, no, never mind, because the roof design is a lot different. Well, I'm actually get started with railing and roof designing. Wait,
Well,
let me find everything.
as a noob, I guess you would say now, this looks nice. You know what I mean? This is a nice building. It seems like if you just follow the grid. Remember, guys, to first make the grid. That's the most important thing. You can't mess anything else up, because you mess the grid up, it seems like you're gonna mess everything else up. You know what I mean? So first get the grid right. Am I saying something wrong, or is that true?
Yep, that's the long and short of it.
Alright. So now she's putting fences up, railings, if you will. Gives us some design and balconies.
Some design and safety, especially in survival. So this is optional and creative. In survival, it's a must-have.
Okay. Now, what are you making right now? The roof, I would reckon.
Yep. This is the roof right here. Come on. Now I'm just gonna say most of this roof design is gonna be putting what's gonna be your main part of the roof down, and then once you have that down, you're gonna be extending, and you're gonna be adding details. So you're basically adding details as you go. See, like with the whole side or underneath or upside down stairs, that's basically like on the go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
And hopefully some of our viewers are following along as well.
Improvised. That's the word.
Right.
Especially right here, you're gonna have glass right here. It's not like it really matters much, because watch. I'm gonna extend this all out by one, almost. But on this one, it's all about adding depth to the exterior of the house. You know, you want to seem pro, you gotta add depth to the exterior. Not saying there's no depth in the interior, but there has to be exterior depth. So we're gonna start doing this.
Wow, that looks awesome.
Upside the stairs, underneath, all the way.
That looks really nice. That looks awesome.
And
Any
if you want to balance it out, wait, where's slabs? There they are. If you want to balance it out, because if you look from the front and the back, the backward stair looks wacky. Simple. Place slabs until you get to about right here.
no, because it might kind of come off of so you guys kind of see right here what she's talking about. Now remember, if you guys have any questions, leave it down in the comments. We'll answer them. But as you guys can see right here, this is exactly how you kind of want it to be done. Now, what is it you're just kind of finishing up with this one over here as well, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, you do the same exact thing on this side.
remember though, it has to be exact, because then you don't want to throw off your build. So keep that in mind.
I mean, as long as your frame's exactly as it is, you can honestly do whatever you want with your exterior. But this is the way I found it to be most appreciated.
Mm.
And I know most people say if you place an extra block, just leave it because you're just gonna place it there anyway. I don't like to say that because it just throws you off, you know.
Right.
It's a lot of unorganized mess.
Remember, honestly, don't let someone else change the way you build or tell you how to build. You know, you build the way you build. You know, and I think that's sort of part of the reason why I actually left this game is because I just had too many people tell me, oh, you know what I mean. Back then, originally before all this, they added all this stuff in PS3 style and Xbox 360. It was just people were just saying, nah, your builds just suck. And like, back then, this, you know. We didn't have all this, you know what I mean? It was really, you know, standard builds back then. But for what it was awesome. You know what I mean? I remember making a pirate ship, a rocket. You know what I mean? A lot of these crazy builds. But that's me, you know, back then. Now just, you know, it's different now. Now since I haven't played the game in years, you know, like I said, a decade. It's just no, you know, it's different.
Well, I'm just gonna explain what I'm doing. I'm just building the roof on top now. The piece de resistance.
Mm.
See, most people like it whenever the roofs touch each other. I don't know why. It's that kind of thing, I guess.
Mm.
Now, I've placed the blocks to go with it, but I'm gonna end up breaking the blocks and placing slabs there. So that you can see that there's an obvious gap / slope. Or if you don't want to put slabs, you could always just find a way to fit, like, upside down stairs in here, like that.
Wait, don't do it yet. Don't break
actually.
it. Let me see. Alright, so yeah, there you go. So you can put upside down stairs. Okay.
But for this one, I want to keep it as simple as possible, so slabs will be simpler.
So let's see our
So
build so far before we actually put. I don't want to interrupt you, but before we continue, this is what our build looks like for right now. Okay, pig got pig's in shot. Yeah, so this is what it looks like right now. Nothing too fancy, but it's nice for what it is. It's a bit fancy. You got some style here, but you also have a nice defensive, you know, home. You have a home, and that's what I think is survival is most important to have, especially you know what I mean, when you have all these new enemies to face. You know what I mean? So this is definitely something you are gonna need. But as we keep going, there's still a lot more to be done. Am I right?
Yep.
So here we are.
I'm gonna leave the interior up to them because the interior is completely up to the mind of the creator. So I'm gonna leave this mainly empty. I'm only gonna be doing exterior, and you know, you figure out the interior. You know, I can't tell you how to build the interior of your house. You know, that's just not right.
Right. And this goes for, like she said, the creator of the building. You know what I mean? So remember, remember, this is your building. This is your house, whether you're in survival or creative. So there you go. That looks like a nice house right there. Look at that. And we're adding some depth, if I'm right. Am I right? Yeah, this would be, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we're adding some depth, so this looks really nice. That little touch.
See, what gets people is the shadow. A shadow is is taken for granted a lot on houses. And that's what adds depth to your house. 99% of the time is shadow.
Now you guys can see here that she's doing the backside here, as you can see. Looks really nice, you know, for what it is at this time. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. You know, again, it's all about trial and error. If you guys mess up once, just know that you can, you know, if you're in survival, it could be a pain to get all that back. But in creative, just remember, it's trial and error. So.
Now, I know some people in like they like to do something like this. And like, it's hard to explain, but it adds depth to the house. I'm not. It's just an example.
Right. Again, this is just she's. I want to elaborate on that. Again, this is your. Again, depends on the creator. Depends on what you, when you're making this, feel. You know what I mean? So again, taste. It's all about taste when you're making this. Now, like, as you can see, she's putting doors on these parts, as you guys can see. You have anything to say for this or no?
I mean, it's doors, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, I would choose dark oak doors because they add the most, like, pizzazz to the house, if that makes any sense. But
Alright.
Can't really tell you how to pick your doors, you know. You gotta walk through them every day. Anyways.
Again, right, it depends on the taste of the creator, right.
We're gonna be taking a different approach to lighting. But that's gonna be later. After I place glass. Now, the reason why, before I do the lighting, I'm gonna explain myself. You'd usually find this home in like a winter setting, so you know it would probably a bit more fitting. But just give me a second. And I mean, a good thing about this house is that once you have the grid built, you know, you don't have to work on much on the floor after you get done with the first floor. It's filling in little squares with pieces of wood.
What's outside. Now my question is, back in the old days, having a lot of windows in your building was actually a good thing. In this and nowadays, would you say it's the same thing?
It honestly depends. It depends on where your house is placed. In the winter biomes, yes. Field biomes, yes. Like in the desert biome, probably not. You're gonna get a lot more Endermen in the desert biome, and if you, whether or not you look them in the eyes, across glass, they will come inside and still kick you.
That's what they did. They kicked you. I thought they smacked you like a brick or something back then.
Elaborate. Kick your behind.